Welcome to StudioLite Advanced Topics video tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about ordering the timelines, the screen layout, and the scene editor. So let's begin. So here we have a single campaign called the Cupcake Bakery, and if we wanted to rename this, we can simply select the properties box and give it a different name and press enter. But in this case, let's go ahead and create a brand new campaign. So we'll click the new campaign wizard, keep the name as default, orientation 1920 by 1080 for the resolution, and select our first screen layout. So as you can see, we have three screen divisions, three areas where we can put content, and they are right now not selected. If we select the next channel, it would automatically select the next available channel. So we can start putting content. So if you wanted to put content on the first channel, simply click on the plus sign, go to resource, select the video, for example, and we've just added some content. But right now we're dealing just with this one single timeline and single layout. What if you wanted to have it switch into full screen after the content is done? You can see right now that the full duration of the content that's currently playing has a total length of 10 seconds. If we wanted to increase the length, we can simply select the video and increase the length of that particular video, let's say to 1 minute and 30 seconds. So you can see now we have 90 seconds for the total length. But what's going to happen is that after the 90 seconds are done, it is simply going to play this particular timeline over and over. Even if we put additional content on the other channels, maybe put an image, again, it's simply going to play it over and over. Again, just like before, we can increase the length of this particular resource. So in order for us to add another timeline, we'll go ahead and click on the plus sign just right here and select full screen. So what's going to happen now is that the content on this particular timeline is going to play for 90 seconds, and when that's done, it's going to automatically switch over and play into full screen, although we have no content. So let's go ahead and select the channel, add some content, maybe just another video. And so what's going to happen, this content now is going to play for 10 seconds, and then when that's done, it's simply going to rotate over. So this type of configuration will play indefinitely. However, what if you actually wanted the presentation to start first with full screen and then switch over into the 3 screen division layout? What you can do is simply right click on this layout and click on move to first. So what's going to happen now is that the presentation is simply going to kick off by playing full screen and then switch into 3 screen divisions. You can also drag and drop as well. Just hold your mouse and drag and drop to change the position. So this is how you control the sequence or the order of the timelines. If you add additional timelines, just like before, you can change the order of the playback. Next, let's go ahead and talk about the screen layout. As I mentioned earlier, right now there are 3 screen divisions and there are 3 channels assigned to them. If you wanted to modify this, simply select the particular screen layout and click Edit Layout. You can right click, or you can also click on this icon right here on top, Edit Screen Layout. And over here you can modify this any way you want. So if, for example, you wanted to remove a screen division, click on the minus, go back, and you can see that now you only have 2 channels. The third channel is gone. Again, let's go ahead and edit the layout. Click on the plus, maybe one more time. So in this case, we're adding multiple screen divisions. Go back, and you can see that right now we have a total of 4 screen divisions. And you can select each one and assign the content that you want. So the screen layout editor is pretty easy to use. Now, the last topic I wanted to cover is the scene editor. Right now, for example, we select this layout and put some content on our first channel. So if I select the first channel, add content, and this time I'm actually going to select a label. It's going to play the upper corner of this particular screen division. So let me go ahead and reorder this. I'm going to drag and drop. So what's going to happen is that the label is going to play first. And again, I put in some content, maybe change the color a little bit, maybe to red. And what's going to happen is, let me also change the font size so it's a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and click on play so we can actually preview this. Now if I click on play right here, we'll be able to preview the presentation just for this particular timeline that's currently selected. So let's go ahead and click on play. It saves the configuration in the server, and you can see our text right here in the upper left corner. So let's go ahead and exit this. So this was easy to do, but it's also very limiting, because what if you wanted to put additional text, maybe a clock, an RSS, and put all that into a single screen division? Of course, you can layer the different screen divisions. So if I again go back to my edit layout and I add additional screen divisions, I can layer them And I can change the order of the layering with this button right here. So you can move to top and bottom. So again, I can kind of use layers and put different content into different screen divisions and then layer them one on top of the other. But this would not be the ideal situation. So let me go ahead and set it back to the way it was. I'll use the properties a little bit easier. And go back. And so the ideal situation would actually be to use the scene editor to mix additional content into a single screen division. So let's go ahead and switch over here to scenes. And just like before, you can click the properties right here. And if, for example, you wanted to remove a scene, you can do that. But I actually want to create a new scene. So I'll click on new scene, select it. I can select the background and set my width and height. Now I'm going to set this scene to be positioned in my screen division, and I don't remember the size of it, so I'll go back to my campaign, select it, and see that I actually need to be 1500 by 880. So that's what I'm going to set my scene size to be. Again, 1500 by 880. Go back to my scenes, 1500 by 880. Apply. I'll go ahead and zoom out so I can see more. So now it's exactly the same size of my screen division that it's going to reside in. And now I can just add content. So I can click on the plus sign, add the same label as before. Again, it's in the upper right corner. But this time I'm going to actually add maybe a couple more labels. Maybe add a resource as well. Select the logo, which is just an image really. And maybe also select the clock. Okay. So you can see it's a lot easier to work with multiple content and multiple items when you have a scene. So I went ahead and created a scene offline so I don't bore you guys for too long. And you can see that this scene is constructed from multiple labels. Of course, I can select each label, it loads up its properties. I can change the text. I can change, resize, do all that good stuff. Let me go ahead and undo. So just go back to what it was. I can also select the image in the background. And of course I get the properties for the image. There's also a clock right here. And I have the clock format that I can choose, the font size, change the position. It's all pretty straightforward, but yet very flexible and very powerful. Some of the other neat tools you can use in the scene editor are, for example, this magnetic alignment tool. So if I select the image in the background, I'll go ahead and move it a little bit. You can see right now that everything kind of moves very nice and smooth, but it's hard to align things. But if, for example, I enable the alignment, I can set the alignment either in small increments or large increments. So let's go ahead and set large increments. You can see that now it's kind of jumping around, but it's a lot easier to align the text and the different items. So scenes are a very simple way to mix multiple content such as images and components into a single screen division. Now let's go ahead and switch back to my campaign. And I went ahead and created a new screen division, and I simply assigned the scene that we just created into this screen division right over here. So let's go ahead and preview this. And you can see that now in this screen division I have my labels and my image, so multiple items are included into a single area and single screen division. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and thanks for watching.